right, thanks for staying with us and welcome back to the Verdict Studios. Here we're doing 24-hour election coverage right through until tomorrow, the voting process, what's going on there, the aftermath, the counting, the collation, and of course all the way to the results announcement. I did talk before the break about Seun Okibaloye and his magic box. Already, for those who've been following this all day, would have seen Seun earlier on. But he's back at this point in time, and here we go. Seun?
Hi, Lani. It's been an interesting time. I know a lot of people are preparing for the elections, and perhaps they don't even know what they are going there to do. I'm here to help you out. I'm your guide through the dark tunnel at this time. Someone like Ladi
you are our guide,
will not be voting tomorrow. I have a feeling so, because he's going to be here all through this coverage. So, Ladi, for a lot of people that will be asking the question, what are we going to be doing at the election centers tomorrow? So, we're voting for 3 different positions. Yes. One of it is 1 presidential seat. That's what we're going to be voting for tomorrow. And again, we're voting to fill the red chambers of the National Assembly. That is the Senate, the senatorial seat. We have 109 of them. Each 36 states of the Federation has 3 seats in the National Assembly, in the Senate of the National Assembly, plus the FCT with 1 senator, which makes 109. So that's another position you are voting for. So if you're looking at what exactly is going to happen tomorrow, I'll give you details of that in a moment. So again, another position that you will be voting for is the House of Representatives seat, where we have 360 seats to be vied for. I know Kano and Lagos State has perhaps the highest seating in the House of Representatives. Kano and Lagos State has about 24 seats, and some other states they have maybe 6 or 8 or 10, depending on how the federal constituencies are divided. So we're going to be doing these senatorial seats, the presidential, 1 presidential seat. Of course, we have a running mate that will be filling the vice presidential position. But essentially, this is a seat that will be jostled for at the ballot tomorrow. The senatorial seat, the House of Representatives seat. So if you look at the breakdown, we have 36 states of the Federation with 3 senatorial seats per state, and the FCT has 1 senatorial seat. That's what we'll be looking at. In a moment from now, we'll be talking about issues of violence. As you heard there, over 60 people lost their lives in Kaduna State. We'll be talking about that in a moment with my guest. So, Ladi Ijoma Nata, this is a business of tomorrow, and I will be coming back at some point on the show to give you some interesting perspectives to what we'll be doing tomorrow in terms of how people turned out in 2000, and in fact from 1999 to 2015, and the breakdown of the turnout of voter for 2015.
Okay, while you're on
you're
on the subject of the breakdown, yes, you've showed us 1 presidential seat, but looking at the National Assembly, what's the gender distribution? I'm interested in what's happening with the women in terms of how many women are running, I mean, for Senate and for the House of Representatives combined. Do we know?
I do not have the figures right now. I'll probably just bring that up later when I come back. But I know that the gender split is lower in the 8th National Assembly compared to the 7th National Assembly. It was way lower. We had more female in the 7th National Assembly compared to the 8th National Assembly. And we are seeing more women who just need to be in the National Assembly, especially that of the Senate was poor, and the 8th National Assembly, it was incredibly poor compared to the 7th National Assembly. We often have more women in the Green Chamber, which is the lower chambers of the National Assembly, Joma.
Okay.
So you talked about the number of seats we're gunning for. In calculating those seats, there are those who are concerned about why do we even have to have that number? I mean, every time we're having an election, we're basically going to have an election for about, how many now? Less than 500 seats. at the federal level, but it's that the entire nation is shaken over that. Why do we have that kind of pressure?
Well, so these are the guys who are making the laws, who are tweaking the laws. And when you're talking about the lives of you and I, it predominantly rests on the shoulders of these less than 500 people. These are the guys who sit over the budget of the nation. Whether our folks who are working across the country are going to get salaries, and when they are going to get it, these guys sometimes are in the middle of it, tweaking the law, talking about oversight functions. It's somewhat one powerful arm of government.
And, sometimes they also add more pressure to the citizenry.
Absolutely. But there is a saying that these guys are perhaps some of the most they have some of the highest paid in the world, talking about legislatures are consequences.
Okay, so
that's perhaps one of the reasons someone like Ladi will want to go here.
Let me put to you a question.
Okay, I'll keep quiet. Let me leave you at this point.
No, I know Ladi has some political ambition.
Okay.
Maybe at some point as a retirement benefit.
Okay, fine. All good, so far. All good.
I can assure you he'll get you back.
No. I know, Ladi, I beg of you, please.
Okay, let me put to you a question I put to someone on our panel about this particular race we're going to see tomorrow. Did you see any upsets? Because you know you have a lot of new entrants, especially State House of Assembly level. Here in Lagos, we've seen all the campaign posters everywhere. Just in terms of the chances of new entrants, how do you see it? Look,
this is a place where the more experience you have, the more chances, the more influence you have. Some of the principal offices are usually given to those who are called ranking senators or ranking House of Reps members. For example, before you can become a Senate president, you perhaps will be a ranking senator. That means you've spent one term or two times before. We've had people like David Mark who spent about 4 or 3 terms in the the Senate. Who was a Senate president twice. We have someone like Okoro Madu, who is from Enugu State, who spent about 4 terms, and he's been deputy Senate president 3 times. So those kind of guys have influence. They know their ways, they know the kind of views, they know the kind of committees that are interesting, that are powerful. So sometimes states want to send some of their powerful men, those who have experience in the National Assembly, to the National Assembly. So in that sense, experience matters. And when you're sending new folks there, that means for another 1 year or so, they'll be trying to find their way in the bottom.
But does that in any way, would you say that also affects how much of good they bring back to those they represent?
Okay, before you answer that, Seun, I'm just going to go to one of the stories that is breaking out from Kaduna State.
Very serious tragedy.
Yeah, and being that they're in grief right now, following reports that on the eve of the elections, which we are right now, at least 66 persons have been killed by gunmen in the Marogida and Idi communities in Kajuru local government area of Kaduna State, as we mentioned to you. Among the victims, we have 22 children and 12 women. 4 persons are also injured. And this attack is coming less than 24 hours to the conduct of the elections, which we've been discussing robustly. The state government, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, has condemned the attack, promising that security operatives will bring them to justice.
I got a report of the killing of about 66 Fulanis in Maro, in Kajuru local government. Which is quite tragic. These deliberate killings were designed to attract reprisals and destabilize that local government during the elections. But the security agencies are containing the situation, and I'll be visiting to also calm down frayed nerves, and some arrests have been made already. So we are confident that the elections will pass on uneventfully. I think the security agencies have anticipated all the areas where there are likely to be electoral disruptions and are taking necessary measures. Conflict helps no one. There are examples around the world, from Syria to Lebanon. We have seen the consequences of lack of peace. Those that think that they can initiate trouble and will be able to predict its outcome are making a grave mistake. My appeal to them is to allow peace to reign, to remember that we will stand before God on the day of judgment and defend all our actions. No one should be involved in the taking of another human life. And my appeal to them is to cease and desist. However, as the Chief Security Officer of the state, it is my duty to ensure that every measure is put in place to protect everyone, and those that violate our laws are brought to justice, and we'll do that without fear or favor.
All right, there you have the governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, talking about that tragedy. He made some points there which are critical about this matter, but we'll come back to that in just a couple of seconds, because I understand now we can go back to Katsina City, where we can speak to Ibrahim Adra, who will be giving an update on what the situation is. Ibrahim.
That's right. We're live at Daura at this time. But let me say this up front, guys, that earlier on in the day while in Katsina, in the hotel where I was staying and a few other places around, it's interesting to know that a lot of people are watching the verdict on Channels Television. And that little bit of tutelage, if you like, that Sheon was doing caught the attention of many. So we're hoping that through that way we'll be educating a whole lot of people about the process. But coming to the situation on the ground, I can report that the 83 kilometers journey between Katsina and Daura took us fairly 1 hour, a little over that because of the very good road. And then we arrived here. Our first port of call, of course, was the INEC office here, where we were able to speak to an official of INEC who said he could only spare a few moments. But in the moment he spared, we were able to get from him that they are ready and that everything is on course. Mind you, earlier on in the day, while in Katsina, my colleague Abdurrahman was at the central bank where he monitored electoral material being taken to the various local government area. But then he said everything is all right here, everything is on course, and they don't foresee any problem whatsoever. And I was able to also get some information that might interest you, and I need to wear my glasses so we don't miss this in any way. Sarkin Yara Ward A, that's President Muhammadu Buhari and a candidate in tomorrow's election. His ward is Sarkin Yara Ward A, and there are 9,242, that's 9242 registered voters in that unit. His polling unit is 003, and with 898 voters also registered there. He is number 187 on the voter register. I thought you should be interested in this. But then I also bumped into an observer who is also here. I came in from Katsina to Daura to observe the goings on here. I took, this is his card. I needed to be very sure who we're dealing with. I also got his letter given to him by INEC, and I had my colleagues take a picture of it. You know, you never can be too sure. So we have him. This is his ID card. Tell us what your name is and what you have seen so far today.
My name is Akarame Zedume. I am the National Coordinator of Youth Arise for Underdoted Leadership and Development Initiative, one of the observers accredited by INEC to observe the 2019 general elections.
Great. So you've been into Katsina and now you're in Daura. Did you stop anywhere in between?
Yes. Number one, I went to the INEC office first in Katsina, then I saw them how they were distributing their materials to the local governments, and then as I was coming to Daura, I made a stop at Mashi, look at the Mashi INEC office too, and I also inquired from the officials, and they confirmed that they are ready for tomorrow's election. Materials are available, and then they think everything will be hit free. Also, I got to Daura to also confirm from the INEC officials here too, and they have also confirmed that everything is in order, and they are sure that the elections will be hit free tomorrow, and we expect the best from them.
Just like me, you've been speaking to a lot of officials, but as an observer, what did you see on ground?
I think what I've observed so far, I think the elections, I think they are ready. I just hope that everything goes the way it is planned and everything goes hitch-free and everything is okay without any hitch.
I'd like to thank you very much. Well, that's basically the situation. I've been around, I've spoken to a lot of people too. Nothing out of the ordinary seems to be happening. I mean, if anyone is excited around here, they're probably keeping it close to their chest. But then the story is that everyone is ready, everyone is raring to go, and Channels TV is live on ground from this place, we'll be taking off to the president's and an APC candidate's polling unit to do a recce and find out what the place is like. If we can, we definitely will be giving you an update. It's back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim Adra, speaking to us from Daura in Katsina, the home state and the home city of President Muhammadu Buhari. Thank you very much once again, Ibrahim. And Shehu, I think we'll be coming back to you. What do you make of that? Are you surprised that everything seems quiet at that end?
It's usually the eve of election. It does look sometimes that nothing is happening. In the years that I've been covering elections, what you perceive an election eve like this is calmness. You see a situation where people are trying to get food because they need to stock up in their homes and get set. And so it gives you a sense of uncertainty. Maybe this exercise is going to happen. Maybe things are not going to be all right. It is in the morning, early hours of the morning, that you see the activities. A lot of people who are going to work are reserving their energy, except us. We're not reserving any energy. We will use more of it tomorrow, though.
That was a big
one of our viewers has the answer there, because he said, hashtag the verdict, my polling unit is still like where nothing is going to be going on by tomorrow.
No, you should not worry. He or she should not worry. By tomorrow morning, it's going to be getting guests from the security agencies, the police, the NSCDC, the customs. In fact, you will see every brand of security agencies across the length and breadth of this country. They will be out tomorrow. And in an election period, it's sometimes, well, political scientists would describe election as a festival of democracy, where a lot of people... Exactly. It's supposed to... So the party is election, when you come out.
But ours is not quite a party of that type. Ours is more a party of uncertainty, trepidation, and double-digit anxiety.
It should be. It should be the It should be the festival of democracy in every sense of it. It depends on how much growth that we have been able to accomplish over the last year. Give us some credit, Ladi.
Exactly. You were much aware.
Oh, no. I'm not giving a job, Ladi. You were much aware the 83, probably you voted at that time, the 78, and what election looked like. So you know what things look like in the Second Republic, in the Third Republic, and now in the Fourth Republic. This is 20 years since we returned to democracy. I think someone should clap for Nigeria. Undiluted civilian, that chain has not been broken for 20 years. We need to give ourselves some pat on the back, because we've tried as much as possible. There's a lot of tension in the land over the last 20 years. 1999, it looked like yesterday when Olusegun Obasanjo was handed over power. He got power as the first elected president in the Fourth Republic. It's interesting. This is perhaps the fifth election cycle.
You're sounding like you're campaigning for something.
Let's give ourselves some credit as Nigerians.
No problem.
Yes.
So if I wanted to be uncharitable, I would say you have political ambitions.
Oh, no, I don't. Unlike you, laddie. I know you'll find yourself in one of these seats one day.
Okay.
While you're talking about one of these seats, I asked you a question earlier about the pressure on those seeking this office, and let's put it this way now, pressure on both sides, those seeking these offices and the electorate. What kind of pressure do you think they're going through right now?
Those seeking this office, interestingly, an average person here has an election in just about 2 or 3 local government areas in the House of Representatives. In the Senate, you have maybe 5 or 6 local government, because a senatorial district is just about 5 or 6 local government areas. So it's unlike a statewide election where a governor is looking at 21 local government area, 18 local government area. So the areas that anybody here seeking any of these seats is going to be covering is not as much as the senatorial district. So the pressure now is the kind of mileage that I've gotten over the last few weeks, campaigning and moving around, paying for people's school fees, just they can vote for me. Are they going to keep that trust and come out and vote for me?
Is the pressure also on the electorate?
The pressure is also on the electorate, because some of these guys are from your village. Some of these guys are your nephews, some of these guys are your cousins, and you are caught in between whether to vote for your conscience or vote for your family or vote for your neighbor or vote for your former schoolmate. So the pressure is going to be there for, these are local elections, for a national
position.
And it's sort of different from the governorship and the presidential. And you know, you hear that you really don't know until you get into the booth.
So what happened, Ijoma, the interesting part of our politics in Nigeria election is that, don't forget that tomorrow people are going to get 3 ballot papers. So one for the presidential, one for the senatorial, and one for the House of Representatives. So usually what you find is that when people vote in the same manner, they vote for one party across. So you vote for a presidential. So you see that rubbing off on other offices. So usually if you have a presidential candidate in a particular party, it rubs off on those who are contesting for the national legislative.
We have one
offices.
viewer online who says, I'm so upset that I'm going to vote for different parties across all lines.
So for the more educated voter, is going there and can decide to say, I'm voting not this party for this seat, I'm voting for another party for this seat. It takes some level of education for a voter to be able to determine. I probably will come back with a ballot paper, the sample of the ballot paper, so we can go through the process of letting our viewers know what they are going in for tomorrow.
Not many people would
is
have
important.
known you have 3. I mean, yes, we know that, but not many people would think you have 3 and you have to make that choice.
Absolutely.
Shehu indeed is a school teacher at this point. Putting a lot of people, and as Ibrahim Adra made
I thought for about 4 years. So to let you know.
Ibrahim Adra did mention that. Ibrahim Adra did mention that a lot of people were listening, and a lot of what you're saying is extremely important about these elections.
Thank you,
3 ballots.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow.
3 ballots.
So if they give you 3 ballots, it's
in different boxes.
It's not in case you make mistake with one.
No, it's because you're voting for different offices.
All right, we'll take a break at this point. When we come back, I understand that we'll go to the election situation room where Gloria Ume Ezeoke is waiting. But that's after this break. And when we come back from there, of course, Shehu will do the wrap-up. And if you've been noticing one gentleman sitting beside me, we'll introduce him at that point, and he will join in the conversation. Please stay with us.